So me and Jack are part of the team that are responsible for the content at Digital Beans. So we thought we'd create a quick behind the scenes video as to the formula and the bits and pieces that go into making the content that you see on your profiles across the board, Roxanne and Seth. Jack's the guy always with a camera in the hand. I'm the guy who just sort of lingers around him and says random stuff for us to try and record and do. That's it in a nutshell.
If we go back to concept,
yeah,
we sit and we have meetings and we discuss what could be a good video, what do we need to put out, what kind of content do we want to put out. It just feels like it's a bit of a minefield at times.
And as you say about a minefield, it's about the mindset too, because although we always think as a team, no idea is a bad idea, we never shoot down anyone's idea or each other's idea. We always try and grow on it, perfect on it. Yeah, Josh's aren't great. But also to have that skill of being able to actually take ideas and being able to sort of funnel them. We can come up with about 6,000 ideas and you only use 2 of them.
So we have a Monday meeting.
Have a Monday meeting.
We discuss the week ahead, what we're going to put out, when are we going to film it.
Look at what's coming up as a business, national days, bits and pieces like that, and how we can sort of nurture our content to that right audience around those subject lines. A lot of people think that there's some sort of secret content creation formula, like a secret KFC chicken recipe, and it just doesn't exist. I think you say it quite a lot, you've got to just record stuff.
Just get it done. And just put stuff out and see what works, what doesn't.
Yeah.
Some of the best videos that we've done here have been off the back of a kind of half-baked idea we weren't sure was going to work, and we just did it anyway. And then in the edit, suddenly we've been able to completely restructure the video and sometimes even completely repurpose the original intention.
Yeah.
And it's worked out great.
And then from the opposite point of view as well, some videos like we have a look at, we record, and we think, well, actually, that's not actually for our audience. So never be afraid to say, that's just not worked, because sometimes it just doesn't work and there's no point in putting it out. And although it feels like you've wasted a bit of time, at the end of the day, it's helped your understanding for further growth along the way, you know.
Was it Edison that designed the light bulb? And he's remembered for inventing the light bulb. But what people forget is that there were probably like 100,000 versions of that light bulb that didn't work. But without those 100,000 failures,
you wouldn't get the finished
have
article.
had the light bulb.
No.
It's a process.
Reflect, the process. That's the word I was looking for, Always remember what you're doing, what your key purpose of that is. Is it vanity metrics? Is it, as you said, as part of that, views that you get, going viral? Is that what is important to you?
Going viral.
Yeah, we can have a video that gets 250 views, but someone's inquired to Digital Beans about possibly becoming a client. That's more important than us doing a video that gets 1 million views.
Exactly.
So you need to make sure that you are getting something out of that time you invested into your content. And you were right, there is a huge obsession at the moment with going viral and getting views. But is it really, really important when it comes down to the core of things?
When I was like in my 20s, teens and 20s, I was obsessed with music and I just wanted to write songs, be in bands. Everybody just thought that if you got a record deal, you'd made it.
Yeah.
And it was just like this golden ticket. It's not just a line in the sand that once you've crossed that threshold,
you're there.
You're going to be rich and famous, and your wildest dreams are going to come true. I think that's the whole thing with the viral video as well. That even if something does go viral, half the time people can't even, or don't even know who did it.
No.
Or why they did it.
Or care.
It's just, did you see that video with the sneezing panda? No one knows who uploaded that video or where the panda was or anything.
No. And also with metrics nowadays, how many people, how long are they actually watching that video for? On LinkedIn, you don't know. So it's just a case of what is an actual view and what does it mean to you, and working that out within your content. And that's a challenge that we face every day.
Create meaningful content and being true to your personal identity or brand. I think they're the 2 things you just need to keep in your mind.
What about from a video creation point of view? Great answer. And again, do we have a 4th?
Yes.
Is it brewing?
Now I'm bright red as well, perfect. The first thing I'll think about is the framing. When a video looks a bit wonky or it looks a bit off, it does kind of bump people out a bit. And as soon as you bump them out from that video, they'll disengage with the content, and then they'll just move on to the next thing. And the next thing for me really is, if I'm not in the video, then I've just got to be on that side of the camera, making sure that no one's going off on too far a tangent, so you have to kind of direct a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is, of course, going through the footage, sitting down, working through it. And I think the key thing with the edit is that you just have to find the key points. and it's very difficult sometimes to whittle it down to such a succinct
Because we can talk.
edit.
Everyone in this office can talk.
Absolutely,
It's
and everyone
crazy.
does. It's natural. You start talking about something that you're either very passionate about, or you do just talk and talk and talk. So for the editor, what you've then got to do is go, okay, what's the key point they made? What evidence have they provided that supports that key point, and just try to chop that down, and then make it look nice. A little bit of colour grading. Pick some music that fits the mood and the tone of the video, but isn't too distracting. And then make sure that you've got titles so that you know who you're watching. Make sure that you've got the brand logo somewhere.
Captions as well in that is quite important.
And captions are important because a lot of people won't even have the sound on. And this video was really all about opening up a conversation with other content creators. It's not really about us saying that we have all the answers and we know how it's done, and that we kind of share the struggle. Like, how do you come up with ideas? How do you execute them? So if you've got any comments, or if you have similar challenges, then
share them, definitely.
join the conversation, comment below.
And hopefully, you know, together, we can start smashing out some amazing content, especially here in Kent.
Yeah.
You've got lovely eyes.